What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. This one is going to be doing the first ever Walking Dead good and bad video. This one we're going to be doing a good and bad of Rick Grimes.
You silence the whispers.
Okay, guys, so this is going to be the very first video for the good and bad series on this channel. This one, we're going to be starting off, I think it makes sense to start it off with Rick Grimes. So, yeah, basically what this video is going to be, we're going to go through all the seasons that Rick Grimes has been in, and we're going to talk about basically his good decisions and his bad decisions. And we're going to basically see between each season, in certain seasons, how many bad decisions does he have versus good decisions, and we'll do that for every season. So, yeah, really cool stuff. It's a new little series I'm starting on the channel. You know, I hope you guys like it. And of course, if you want to suggest the next good and bad video, all you got to do is write you got to be the first one to comment the next good and bad video for the next character, and I will go ahead and do it. Maybe for Daryl, maybe for Glenn, Herschel, Maggie, I don't know, Michonne, Carol, depending on just any character in The Walking Dead that you guys can kind of think of for the next one. So, Rick Grimes. Okay, so in my opinion, Rick is an amazing character, but we should probably start from the beginning. But I will say one thing is that talking about decisions that Rick made that were bad is very difficult for me because Rick is my favorite character in all of television, but he does even make bad decisions at certain times as well. We're going to discuss that as well. So, season 1. So, Rick Grimes in season 1. So, how many good decisions does Rick make in season 1? So, first good decision is deciding to basically go out and look for his family. Very heroic type of, that really makes you care about his character right away. You know, he really, once he gets the gist of what the world is, thanks to Morgan, he really goes out there and he tries to find his family. So that definitely is a very good decision for Rick. Definitely. The other thing I want to mention, another good decision Rick did was handcuffing Merle to the roof, because he was causing problems. He was really causing drama with a lot of them, and Merle, who knows what he would have done. So Rick handcuffing him to the rooftop, in my opinion, was a good decision, even though they left him up there to die. He was acting like an idiot, that's for sure, and Rick ended that really quickly. So, yeah. The other good decision that I find Rick made in season 1 was to basically, after he finds, Lori and Carl, basically, he decides that, yes, he's gonna go back for Merle, because Daryl's freaking out, but also, he dropped the bag of guns in the city, and he also, lost his, sheriff hat and stuff like that, and there's a lot of guns, that he dropped, and maybe the camp can really use those guns. So, even though Shane blames Rick for leaving, and they lost a lot of people while Rick and them were gone, because the camp gets attacked by a bunch of zombies, and then Rick, Glenn, Daryl, and T-Dog kind of come in at the last minute and help them with all the guns they have. It still was a good decision to go get those guns in the city. I don't think Rick, even though Rick went back for Merle, I don't really think he cared about Merle as much. And I think he really went back there just so he can get the guns and really to help the camp, more. So I view that as another good decision Rick made. So those are the good decisions Rick made. And I actually only have one bad decision that Rick made in season 1. And that decision is taking the group to the CDC. Because of the results, I mean, as soon as you realize that there's one person in the CDC, you should honestly realize at that point that why are you even staying there? That's the thing. And because of Rick deciding that they go to the CDC, look what happens. They almost get locked in and die. So for me, that is a bad decision that Rick made in season 1. So for season 1, Rick has 3 good decisions, and he's got 1 bad decision. So not too bad for season 1. Season 2, of course, he leaves Sophia, so that is definitely a bad decision. He really, I feel like Rick in season 2, let's just say this. Okay, so Rick in season 2, he leaves Sophia, of course, because she runs away from the 2 zombies. I'm gonna still say that Rick, though, the thing is that I feel like Rick, if he didn't lead those zombies away, there would have been trouble. So, Rick leading the zombies away, I think was a good decision. So that's a good decision. But bad decision is that he made, he basically told her to hide in the, you don't know what could happen to Sophia, and rightfully so, she disappears, and we don't see her until she's dead, in, episode 7 of season 2. So, One good decision leading the zombies away, but bad decision telling Sophia just to kind of maybe run back to the highway or something like that. It's not, how do you expect her to really know, where she's supposed to go, So, and then she dies, of course, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. The next thing as well, though, is the other bad decision Rick made in season 2 is killing Randall, or not killing Randall, because of what Shane does later on, because Rick doesn't kill Randall, I know Dale kind of told him not to do that, but man, they would have been better off. I'm just saying. And the other thing as well is that, like I said, because Randall's still alive, that motivates Shane to do what he did in Better Angels, the episode where Shane dies. So, there is that as well. But here are some good decisions, though, that Rick made in season 2. Telling the group, helping the group get off the farm, first of all, that was good. Plus, I have to give Rick a very good decision on the speech at the end of season 2. The speech and the way he says, I killed my best friend, you saw what he was like, that type of deal. That was a very good moment as well for me. And then the final good decision I think Rick made as well is telling Lori straight up I killed Shane, because he wants to see what she thinks about it. And, Rick really realizes that, man, Lori really did care for Shane, So, and that's when Rick and Lori kind of don't talk very much, after that. So, Rick, I think he made a lot of bad decisions in season 2, I'm just going to say. With the whole Sophia thing, not killing Randall, stuff like this. Yeah, that's one thing. But he also made a lot of good decisions in season 2 as well. Like leading the zombies away from Sophia to protect her, even though it didn't have, good results in the end. And then another one I want to kind of say is when he does the speech in front of everyone, that is a very good decision as well. Plus, killing Shane, I think, was another very, very good decision because they needed to get rid of Shane. He was causing way too many problems, and yeah. So, and then the final good decision he made was telling Lori that, basically he killed Shane, and that's what it is. So, those are some good decisions from, and good and bad from Rick from season 2. Season 3, for me, is a really different one because Rick in season 3 lost Lori. So any bad decisions that Rick makes when it comes to the hallucinations or walking outside the fence or, stuff like this, I can't blame him because he lost Lori and they didn't end things on good terms anyway. So, really, I can't say those are bad decisions because he wasn't really thinking. That's the one thing I'm going to say. But one super bad decision, and this is actually the only bad decision that Rick made in season 3, in my eyes at least, is deciding to maybe possibly even think of give over Michonne to the governor when they meet in that episode. Honestly, that was so out of character for me when Rick decided to at least potentially give over Michonne. I know you don't trust her, but you know full well the governor's not going to stop. That's the only thing. I don't know. That one for me really is just a big head scratcher for me. I never understood that one. And then it was too late because then Merle took her and then, I don't know. That one didn't work out for me. But good decisions Rick did in season 3. I got some here. Taking out the prisoners, the bad ones at least, definitely. Specifically the machete one on Thomas, right? That one was crazy. But taking in the old people at the end of season 3, that was a very heroic thing to do. I really like that as well. So that's season 3 for Rick. Good and bad of Rick in season 3. Season 4, him farming for me is a really bad thing because he doesn't even want to take his gun with him anymore. That one for me is really annoying. But I still like Rick at that time, but, bad decision in my opinion. Another bad decision Rick did in season 4 was make Carol leave. I get it. He doesn't want her to be killed by Tyrese if he finds out, but the thing is that, Carol's a really tough member. Yeah, she maybe didn't think things through that much, but she's still a really tough character to have in your group, and just the way he made her leave really made me upset. But I get it at the same time, too, though. But I'm still going to say it was a bad decision. Good decisions Rick made in season 4. The neck bite, definitely. We have to include that one with Joe. That is a very big good decision because the way he did that just to defend his son, Michonne and Daryl, wow. Honestly, against Joe, absolutely. But unfortunately for me, that is the only good decision I see Rick doing in season 4. So there is that. But still, though, really, the neck bite was really awesome. Season 5, Rick. So this is the good time for Rick here. So, I'm going to have to say the red machete is one of them. I have to say. The red machete was amazing. And when he kills Gareth and he kind of tricks the hunters and thinking they're gone, and then they kind of circle back from the school and stuff like that, put your guns on the floor. Just the way he does it. I already made you a promise. Absolutely amazing choice. And one of Rick's best decisions was taking them out at that time. Just my opinion. However, another one bad decision that Rick made in season 5 was really starting to kind of get more brutal with, like the plan at the hospital, like go in, take out everybody, and then Tyrese kind of has a bit more of a calmer plan, just an even trade, that type of deal. Tyrese's plan works better than Rick, where Rick just wanted to go into the hospital guns and blazing. So, for me, that one's something. But I just have to say, I think that Rick's decisions are good in season 5. I just think he's a bit more on the brutal side. Now, running over Officer Bob Lamson, that's a good decision because you cannot trust him after that. And then the other good decision is the way he handled Peter. Yes, it was brutal, but man, it was good. And it was exciting, especially when he threw him out the window. So I have to give him credit for that one. Then, of course, in Season 6. So the way he handles the herd in Season 6 for me is just really awesome. I really like it. And yes, they only get half of them away, but still, he has no choice but to run back. Like, honestly, what else is he going to do, really? So that one for me is really good. Plus, he cuts his hand in the process. So, honestly, he goes through a lot. But Rick, in Season 6, the one bad decision he makes is definitely taking the deal with the hilltop. He did not have to. Yes, they were low on food at the time, but man, honestly, the results of that is probably one of Rick's worst decisions. But one good decision that Rick made, though, is definitely not still trying to fight back as soon as Negan actually kills Glenn and Abraham. Rick really looks at the situation realistically, and that moves that brings me to Season 7. In Season 7, a lot of people hate Rick in Season 7 because he's not fighting back, but it's about numbers. That's what Rick always says. It's all about the numbers. And I like how they rise up, that type of deal. I love how in the Season 7 finale, Rick says it right to Negan's face. I told you already I'm going to kill you, And Rick following Negan's decision, even though some people look at it as a bad decision, Rick following Negan's rules until they can actually have an army to take Negan out, and Rick surrendering to Negan at that time, I'm going to say is actually a very good decision for Rick. A very good decision. I'm going to have to put it in the good decision. But the thing is that I know some people didn't like it. But me personally, I think it actually, Rick was thinking realistically at that time. We can't take out Negan and the Saviors unless we have the numbers. And at the time, they didn't. So yeah. Joining with the Junkyard, honestly, is also not a bad decision. It's a good decision. You're looking for numbers, fine. But the results of that is not good. So I'm going to have to say that decision was bad for Rick, joining with the Junkyard people. Season 8. So, the war and Rick laying out the plan of attacking the Sanctuary, attacking the outposts. Perfect in Season 8, the way they did that. But the only thing I don't like about Rick in Season 8 is how he says he's going to kill Negan, and then he doesn't. That's my only thing, going back on what he says a lot. And that's a big problem I have with a lot of the characters in Season 8, is that they go back on what they say a lot. Which is really frustrating at times. But I still love Rick's character either way. But, in terms of Carl's death in Season 8, we definitely have to focus on that. For him, honestly, Negan always says to Rick that you weren't there to stop him from doing something stupid. For me personally, I just look at it as like, Carl was going to do that anyway either way, wherever Rick was. Rick was not responsible for anything that happened to Carl, if you ask me at least. I know maybe some people you think differently, but Rick, that is not Rick's fault what happened to Carl. That's just how I look at it, to be honest. But maybe you guys, feel differently, but yeah. And then finally, so of course, he saves Negan. Finally, he saves Negan. And of course, we have the conflict in Season 9, which brings me to the end of the video. So, Rick in Season 9. So he's really looking at things maybe in an unrealistic way. Rick in Season 9 looks at it as everything's going to work out. And when Negan says, when it finally goes to bleep, and it will, make sure you come back and tell me about that day too, because, and he never does, unfortunately. But, it's true. The Saviors, they're not just going to stop. It's people like Jed and stuff, they don't stop. And it's, something that Rick kind of had to realize on his own. And, but the one good decision that Rick made in Season 9 was leading the zombie herd away. And the most heroic moment Rick ever did was in his last scenes. He led a zombie herd away, blew up the bridge and himself, just so his people could survive that herd. Wow. And very heroic, but that's Rick Grimes for you right there. So, what are your opinions on Rick Grimes's good and bad decisions? Do you see Rick? And that's my question for you guys at the end of this video. Do you guys see Rick doing more good decisions for the group long term, or do you see him making maybe more bad decisions? That's what I want to see. For me, I'm going to say Rick does more good decisions than bad decisions. Yes, he makes some bad decisions, but I mean, so do almost every character in the show. So, that's my opinion. But anyway, guys, write your comments in the comment section below. If you do here, click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Walking Dead videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a little bit of a different video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, yeah, anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new here, click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Walking Dead videos. Follow Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, and I will catch you guys really soon for another video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.